Hi everybody, it's the Swan Effect Mum here. I'm going live because it's just easier to set it up. So I was scheduled to meet with another mum's night to record a podcast episode, but as it's a parenting podcast, her children weren't in bed in time, so it was just delayed for another day. So I thought, well, do you know what? I've got everything set up. I'll come and do a video. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Lynn. I'm the Swan Effect Mum. And I've been recording podcasts now for 6 weeks or so. I publish them every 2 weeks. I have already done one video before asking for people to come forward who would like to be guests, and I've had an amazing response. I've had so many published already, but I've also recorded a lot. I'm trying to fit as many people as I can. So I think I've got ones now that will be published in June. And at the moment, I've spoken to a mum of teenagers. I've spoken to a stay-at-home dad, a stay-at-home mum, a father to a toddler. I've spoken to a mother in America who wanted to talk about the stigma of mental health in parenthood. I've spoken to another lady about her book that's published and how new mums can deal with fourth trimester. I've spoken to so many people about so many things already. However, I thought, I might just do this video now and ask for other people to come forward so that I can put a list together of people. If you're watching this and I still haven't got in touch with you, I will. I'm not saying I've run out of people because I haven't. I just thought I'd spend this time now to go through who I'm looking for and the type of subjects I'd like to cover in the podcast. So my podcast is called the Swan Effect Mum's Coffee and Chat podcast. So it started when I'm on Instagram, and I started doing Insta chats, Insta lives every week on a Wednesday morning because my daughter was in playgroup and my baby was a newborn and slept a lot. And how times change. And I just thought it was great. And I was chatting to mums every week, and we were just having a really nice chat for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a podcast. I always wanted to do it. I was interested in doing it. I'm on maternity leave, so I'm using it as an example, just as a trial, really, a bit of a hobby. I'm not an expert. As you can see, I do it in my kitchen or in my daughter's bedroom, depending on who's here at the time. But it's getting a really good response. And I realised I don't want to just narrow down a niche. What I want these podcasts to do is just open the doors for lots of parents so that they can hear about other people's experiences or tips or struggles or success stories and things like that. I know, there's a woman who I kind of know who said, I love watching your videos. Another lady said, I listen to your podcast while I'm washing the dishes. Honestly, I love that. And, the stories are not really relevant to them, but they love listening to other people's experiences. So I want to open it up even more if I can, be a bit cheeky and hope that people will come forward. So I've made a list, and it's on the description as well. I've written down a list of just things that come to the top of my head, but I'll just go through them now. As I said, it's all very last minute. So I'd love to speak to step parents, whether they're young children or they're grown-up children, how that was for you, how you dealt with that. That's something I can relate to as well. And I want to speak to grandparents. So particularly grandparents that look at help with the childcare. So I drop off my daughter in playgroup, and this lady there, and she's obviously the grandmother, and she drops off the child every morning. And I thought I'd love to chat to her about it and see, what difference in not parenting styles, parenting styles basically. So does the grandparent have the rule of the roost when she's in charge? Is it her rules, or is she following the rules of her daughter, her daughter's wishes? And this is how I want to bring up my daughter. Please, can you look after my daughter, but can you follow my rules? Or do the grandparents get free rein and do what they used to do when they were a parent? Really interested in that one. I'm looking for foster parents, adoptive parents, parents that have gone through IVF, success stories. I can appreciate people that haven't been successful might not want to talk about it, but if you would, I'd love to have you on board. There's people going through fertility problems, so that'd be really relevant. Again, parents with fertility success stories would be great, not so much IVF, but people that have tried and tried for years and years, decided to go down the IVF route, and just before they're due to start the IVF treatment, they got pregnant. I've heard of that happening. Anybody that's had that kind of story, that'd be great. This is a tough one. So parents who have dealt with child loss. Now that could be miscarriage, it could be stillbirths, or it could be the passing of a child at a certain age, anything like that really. There was a stillbirth within our family, so I would treat that so sensitively. But I think that's another important topic to cover. Also, parents with children who have had illnesses and how they've dealt with that, especially if they had other children within the family. How did they balance that out as a family, as a parent? Parents with children with disabilities or learner difficulties, parents with disabilities themselves, how do they deal with the parenting styles? Have they had to adapt? I'm looking for funny parenting stories as well. So people that have got funny stories about how they've parented and how it's gone wrong, or how they thought they were going to be a parent and then they become a parent and it's just gone out the window, because that is me completely. I was a much better mum before I was a mum, in my head, for sure. Also, another one I was kind of interested in talking to is parents with religious views and their parenting approaches with that, and does it have any conflict for the children if they're mixing with children from other religions or no religion? How do you have that within the family, but then when they're outside, how do you work that within your family unit? That's a really quick list that I've made on an envelope because, like I said, the podcast chat that I was having has been cancelled last minute. I just thought I'd put that out there and see if anybody would be interested in chatting to me. There are so many other stories you can talk about. So I've had a lady who spoke to me about ICP in pregnancy. I can't even pronounce the words for them. Basically, it's when you have that severe itching and it's like a liver condition while you're pregnant that could be quite dangerous for the child. That was really interesting. So anybody that's had anything like that during pregnancy or after having the baby, I know that I spoke to Tessa, the sleepy mummy, on Friday night. She's a sleep consultant for children from 0 to 5. And we've got chatting, and she reminded me that she contracted sepsis after having her child, and I had too. So we're going to do another podcast about that. So anybody that's got any stories like that, would be really interesting. As I say, if you have been in touch and you've said that you want to go on my podcast, be a guest on my podcast, I haven't forgotten, I promise. Ronnie, my youngest, is 7 months now, and it's becoming more and more hectic in this house. So I'm just trying to fit everything in while I can. But yeah, so if you want to get in touch, either comment down below and I'll be in touch, or you can go on my website, www.theswaneffectmum.com, and message me by that. Or you can email me, the Swan Effect Mum blog at gmail.com. Yeah, that's right. Or I'm on Instagram or Facebook, the Swan Effect Mum. You can't miss me. I'm on LinkedIn, Pinterest, you name it, I'm on it. So yeah, just message me any of those platforms and just give me an idea of what you'd like to talk about. I'd love to speak to dads. Do you know what? I've been really successful. I've had 3 dads that I've interviewed now, that chatted to, and I've got another 2 dads that are willing to talk as well. So that's amazing. I really do want a good mix of people. I think people might think, oh, it's not that important, but you know what? You don't know who's listening, or they could be looking for signs of things. And they go, actually, do you know what? I think I've got that, or I think I had that, or, things like, I think the feedback I'm getting already, and it's still pretty new, is that it's really interesting for people. And if I can help in any way, I enjoy doing it. I like chatting. I like my coffee. So yeah, just get in touch. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm Lynn, the Swan Effect Mum, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.